Hi, welcome back to another episode of Then We Eat. In today's episode, we'll be making quesadillas, 3 different ways. Have you ever had that meal where you've had leftovers and you just aren't sure what to do with the leftovers? Well, this is one of those ways that you can get rid of a lot of the leftovers in your fridge. Today we'll be making 3 kinds of quesadillas. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up all our meat. I said we were going to do 3 different kinds. Well, the 3 different kinds is I've got some smoked pork that we had over the weekend that's left over, so I'm going to chop it up and we're going to cook it with some barbecue sauce. Then I also had some bacon left over that I've already chopped up. We're going to cook that and we're going to add it with some pepperoni to make a second one. And lastly, we're going to cut up some ham that we had left over in the fridge and we're going to make ham and cheese. So let's cut up our meat and get started. So you want to cut your meat into small little pieces. You don't want a huge chunk on your quesadillas, so we're just going to do little cubes. There's our pork. We've got our bacon. I've got some pepperoni here. I'm just going to cut it in half. Stack it up. Give it a slice. That'll be easier to put on our quesadilla. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up our ham. And we're going to cut it the same way as we did our pork. So there's our ham cut up. I'm going to slide the ham back onto the plate just because it's easier to keep the pork and the ham separate. And there we go. Now we're going to get the induction out. We're going to fry up the bacon. Then we'll cook the pork and we'll be ready to start to make our quesadillas. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fry up our bacon. So I've got the induction out. You can hear that it's running. It's not on. If you've watched the videos before, you'll know we like to cook our bacon from a coal pan. So let's add the bacon to the pan. And we'll turn it on. I have it on 1000, which is about medium. We'll start there. If it looks like it's cooking a little too fast, we'll turn it down. While we're waiting for the bacon to cook, let's take this opportunity to have you hit the like button if you like what you're watching so far. Share it with your friends. Hit the notification bell, let you know when we upload a new video. We upload every Friday. Okay, so our bacon is where I like it. I'm gonna turn off the heat. And we'll scoop it out onto some paper towel. And we'll set the bacon aside. So I'm gonna leave the bacon fat in here. I'm gonna turn the pan back on and we're gonna cook some onions and red peppers. So you don't actually have to cook your peppers and onions. This was a last minute decision that I made. I am going to cook them. I just don't want the crunchiness of the peppers and onions when I'm biting into my quesadilla, but it's totally up to you. So into the pan they go. I just want to give them a light cook. I can see the onions are translucent. So I'm going to pull them off and we'll get ready to start cooking our pork. So the last thing we need to do is reheat our pork. So all I'm going to do is just get it warmed again and I'm going to add some barbecue sauce as it's heating up. So I'm going to kind of fry it in barbecue sauce. So we're going to add our pork. We're just going to let it heat up for a few minutes, then we'll add some barbecue sauce. So our pork is heating up. Now let's add some barbecue sauce. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to add what's left in here, which is maybe 1/4 cup. Let's give this a mix. I'm pretty sure it's not enough. Why do they make these lids so hard? Chris, can you get this?
That was easy.
Thank you. So I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm not going to add as much as I added the first time because I just don't think it needs it. Or a couple of tablespoons. Let's give this a mix. I have turned my pan down because I thought it was cooking a little too hot. We'll just let this cook for about a minute more. Then we should be ready to make some quesadillas. Okay, so we're going to call this done. I'm going to pull it off the heat, clean up the induction, and we'll be back to make some quesadillas. Oh wait, I don't need to clean up the induction. I'm going to pull this off the heat and we should be ready to make a quesadilla. All right, now the time we've all been waiting for. Let's make some quesadillas. So the first one we're going to make is a ham and cheese quesadilla. So I have my flour tortilla on the bottom of the pan. To that, I'm going to add a small layer of Gruyere cheese. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. That's how I say it. You just want a very thin layer. This is going to help everything stick to each other. Got our thin layer of Gruyere cheese. To that, we're going to add some ham, tiny bit of the peppers and onions, and a little bit more Gruyere cheese. I'm really sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And then we're going to put the top on our quesadilla. Now I'm going to turn the induction on. I have it set for 500. We'll see how that goes. All we want to do is melt the cheese and make sure that everything gets warmed through. And then once I can see that the cheese is melting on the bottom, we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. So our quesadilla is cooked. We're going to put it on a cutting board while we make the next one. So the next one we're going to make is a pulled pork with cheddar cheese. So again, we're going to put our tortilla down. This time we're going to put a small layer of cheddar cheese. We're going to add some pulled pork. This one we're going to add some chopped up pickled jalapenos, a little bit more of our cheddar cheese, and we're going to add some barbecue sauce to the top of our flour tortilla. Put it on top. And we'll let this cook. It's time to flip. Okay, let's pull this one off the heat now. We'll get ready for our last one. So the last one we're going to do is the pepperoni and bacon. This time we're using mozzarella cheese, so let's put a layer of mozzarella cheese down. I debated as to whether to put a tomato sauce down. It wasn't a pizza that I was looking for, it was just a pepperoni bacon, so I decided to go against that. So we're gonna add some pepperoni. So if you were actually looking for a pizza quesadilla, we have made them in the past, so just check out this video above my shoulder. To that, we're going to add some bacon, and we're going to add some of our pepper onion mixture, and a little bit more cheese, and on with the top. And we'll let that fry away until it's cooked. So this quesadilla is done as well. Let's get them all plated up so we can try them. So here's 2 of our 3 quesadillas. I'm going to cut them up and then we'll plate them. Okay, we've got them plated. Now let's give them a try. First one we're going to try is the pepperoni bacon. You can have it with this nice creamy jalapeno dressing. For the taste, I'm going to try it without the dressing. I just want to see how it tastes. Really good. That is how a quesadilla should taste. You got the saltiness from the bacon, the nice flavor from the pepperoni, and the mozzarella cheese. And you know what? Those peppers and onions just make it taste that much better. So let's try it with the jalapeno dip. That dip is really good. All right, let's try the next one. So the next one we're going to try is the pulled pork and the barbecue sauce. My first hint was the sweetness from the barbecue sauce. Oh, there's the heat from the jalapeno. It lingers, catches up on you. This is also very good. It's got a nice sweet hot flavor going on. Well, let's try it with the jalapeno dipping sauce. Now, if you want to know where you can get that recipe for the jalapeno dipping sauce, visit our short. That sauce just makes it taste even better. So the last one we're going to try is the ham and cheese with the peppers and onions. That is really good. That is what I expect of a quesadilla. It's cooked perfectly. There's a nice crunch to it. It's not too hard. And the flavors from the onions and the peppers and the ham is just beautiful. Now let's try it with the dipping sauce. That dipping sauce just makes them taste so much better. So that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Oh, and don't forget, first we cook, then we eat.